Come on. Why won't it? Now this doesn't want to go live. I just don't get this. Oh, it's on. It's on. It's on. Okay. You guys are chatting away. Let me catch up. I swear to God, this thing has a mind of its own. Okay. There we go. Can you feel the pandemonium of this energy? I'm really excited, but it's churning really, really quickly. Hi, Rochelle. Thank you, Barbara. I'm a magician somehow. Oh yeah, hit the like button. How are you guys? Hi, Susan. Hi, T. Yes, it's live, GM Dave. Boo. Yes, okay. So, yeah, I am kind of running ragged trying to figure out what this mysterious clue was that was left for us. I want to first remind you guys of a couple things. First of all, I think we are headed into migraine territory. I could feel it coming on today. Tomorrow is the first day of fall. We are in the final vestiges of the summer. On the first day of summer, when the sun was 0 degrees Cancer, we also had an eclipse. On that eclipse, the North Node, the place in the chart where the path of the eclipse crosses the plane between the on the Earth, between the Sun and the Moon, that I believe was at Gemini, either 28 or 29 degrees. So today, just because the Sun is in square to that, we get a huge, big, jolty news day. Oh my goodness, thank you, Marjorie, so sweet. And then tomorrow, being the first day of fall, it's another eclipse, click, a big jolt. Now, this time with Libra, this is the first time we've had Libra season with not only the Saturn-Pluto conjunction, we now have Mars retrograde. And last week, God, it feels like it was many moons ago, last week, I was describing to all of you what would happen with this Mars retrograde. Basically, the behaviors that were indefensible, that they could color over and gloss over and still intimidate, Mars would no longer be able to defend that. That action power, that aggression, that outward aggression, it's no longer able to attack in that matter. That energy is turned inward. Meanwhile, Venus is orbiting along easily. So what happens is now our values and our money stand up. And whatever damage was done by Mars cannot, against Venus, can no longer uphold those attacks. So that kind of falls away. But what's left is exposed is the damage that Mars has done to things like Venus. This is like we're going to start to be able to see the wreckage of this Mars in Aries under this administration. So that's going to get ugly. I think that's why we're seeing what we're seeing with the stock markets, because where they were really trying to inflate everything, the markets have had like 3 days of serious losses. And I know that's also related to what happened with the FinCEN findings and the Panama Papers and all that stuff that was released yesterday. So as we go forward, keep in mind that Mars retrograde isn't strong. I am like watching Mitch McConnell, I'm like, okay, go ahead. Go ahead, go do that. Cory Gardner, go ahead, go do that. Chuck, Lindsay, jump on board. See how far you get with that. Because they're not going to get far. There's going to be a massive amount of regret. And I think they're kind of like, where did all of our mojo go? Why isn't this stuff sticking? It's not going to stick. But what's louder and clearer are those honoring RBG. The monies that were raised in memory of her. Our values and what we're going to do. That is tilted in that favor, especially when the sun goes into fall tomorrow. You guys, if you thought today was kind of whiplashy since last week, that's this whole fall, okay? The other thing I talked about last week was Mars retrograding, and at the time, last Thursday, I knew Mars was going to touch Black Moon Lilith, and I couldn't figure out what the Lilith was about, but as I explained to you, I don't even know which video it is. I think it was at the passing with our dear Ruthie. I wasn't sure what was going to happen, and then I realized that this, where's my camera? That this, where is it? This Black Moon Lilith, that's about women's rights. Mars is at 27 degrees, 3 minutes Aries. Lilith is 26 Aries, 40. There's still a little bit to go, but there is going to be a big, huge strike. It's going to gut us. It's going to be full of so much pain. I have a feeling this might be what they're announcing with Breonna Taylor, because I guess the Kentucky police, Louisville Police Department has everything locked down. They've already declared a state of emergency. I wonder if that's what's going to be happening. And so, hold on. Things are just, yeah. So, this Mars retrograde is active through November. The tables are going to turn wildly here, especially in this upcoming week or so, as we get into October. I think then like maybe the end of October, like mid-October might be really kind of fuzzy. We're not really sure what's going on. And then things are going to clear up as we get into Scorpio season. But again, at the end of a season, these guys can say all that they want. They cannot initiate something new. And here they had this big FinCEN thing drop on their head, make a thud, and that is how they're starting off fall. That's what's going to, it's just that dead weight. They're in so much trouble. So I wanted to make sure I mentioned that. Also, these guys acting like jackals and hyenas and going after Ruthie's sacred chair. It goes back to that whole thing I was talking about regarding the white supremacy thing that's in the USA chart in Virgo. It's like all of that, they're cackling, all that is being activated right now. And they're going to get a big, huge slap in the face as this goes on. I want to make sure you guys know, if you don't know this already, on Friday, through this devastating news that we received, the Department of Justice released a ton of unredacted material from the Mueller report. And it shows how much Bill behind bars has been protecting Russia. There was a statement in there that he redacted that Russia's at the war with the United States. He redacted the fact that Prigozhin, whatever, the chef, is tied to the Russian army. He protected them, as did the Republican Party. He redacted parts that talked about radicalizing people online and social media, and how they picked accounts and people and groups to target. So whenever you felt like you were in the middle of something, getting attacked for something, like today, I think people are hearing a lot of news about Bob Mueller getting attacked. That's because they pick and choose what they're going to do. I'm telling you, Bob Mueller is not afraid. He's not the one that said, I'm effed, when he found out he was going to be special counsel. No. Donald is the one who said, I'm effed, because Mueller's the one who put away all the crime families in the 80s, 90s. That's why. So we are being hugely gaslit. There's so much garbage out there. I just turned it off. Because I'm like, this is all a fake show. There's so much bigger stuff we need to be paying attention to. Okay, let me check in with you guys real quick. How are you? Yes. Yes, please check your registration deadlines, you guys. I think we're doing okay. I see you guys. I see you. Okay, good. Okay, good. So I got to shift gears here, because now I've found out the clue, and then now I understand what it means. It was so big going to different parts. I'm pretty sure I understand what's going on. So when I did our dear Ruthie's tarotscope, for entertainment purposes only, I did not get the cards that I expected to get from her with passing, because usually I'll see like a 6 of cups or an 8 of cups or something like that, saying I've gone, I've left, I'm on a new journey. It was kind of like she was still at work. Let me pick this up a little bit. She did show in this new moon chart last week, because remember when we were doing this, I was kind of like holding my breath, because what was crowning Washington, D.C. was a sacrifice that was going to be made. So we knew that there was going to be a death. We knew that this yod was pointing to something huge related to Donald that would split his Mars and Pluto planets, which are his power planets, like his secret, his obsessions, his aggressions, his just gross, hidden, distorted, gross stuff. Ugh. We knew that. And then we also knew from this tarotscope, and by the way, welcome all new subscribers. Thank you. I'm just still stunned you all found me. Thank you, Cash Peters. You guys don't have to know anything about astrology. Just listen to the stories, look at the pictures. It'll sink in over time, but I try to tell it in a way that it's not overwhelming. But this content in the news is overwhelming. So I'll do my best to keep it simple and clear. So this is the horoscope that was cast over Washington, D.C. on Thursday, September 17th at 7 a.m. This is the east, north, west, south. This is the line of the horizon. This is east. The sun rises here, reaches its peak up here at the midheaven, or MC, and then we hit the afternoon, evening, and the sun sets. And of course, when the sun sets, we can't see it anymore because it's gone to this side of the world. So planets that are above the horizon, those are things that we can actively see, unless they're in this hidden house here, hidden secrets, hidden enemies. And you can't really see them. They kind of blend too much with the horizon. Kind of like a blind spot. beneath the horizon, you can't see this stuff. You know what's going on. You know things are shaken down, but we cannot see these things at all. But what happened with this chart is there was a lot of like partnership going on. This part that has to do with one's identity, their life force, their vitality. Well, it partnered up with this area, which has to do with either your partner or your open adversary. And then this one said, look to the first house, which is over here. So those two were going together. And then this fifth house, this area is about the president, the fifth house of the sun. Well, it had a yod. If you want this arrangement is a yod. A sextile 60 degrees with 150 degrees here makes this triangle. It's this really special triangle. We call it the finger of God. It's usually very prominent in death charts, but it's faded. So in the fifth house of the sun, there's a yod, the Queen of Cups, United States of America, pointing to something happening really fast, telling you to look at the fifth house. So it's like these two things were going as well. And then this area that has to do with public servants, military, investigations, day-to-day routine, our health, our doctors, said go to the 10th house. And I think that this was, because it was really emotional, this is RBG as a public servant passing away. She was a sacrifice. Because, yeah, this said go look at the 10th house. So that's what I think that meant. So when I threw her cards, I think that's what it was for her. But let me just go through this and then I'll show you where the clue is. So in her area of secrets and hidden enemies, she had a secret about the devil. Hidden enemies, the King of Pentacles, Donald. I have one last thing to tell you about her with her death chart. I didn't get to tell you guys. I told you about how she was passing the baton off to Kamala. Just a second. Do I have her death chart? I don't. Her Chiron, her wound, the wound that she had to heal, she flipping healed it, so is represented by the asteroid Chiron. It's your wounded healer. The thing that takes a lifetime probably to heal. Sometimes people heal this in their death. Wounded healer. This was at 24 degrees Taurus. This is her wound she has to heal. Donald's midheaven, his highest achievement up here at the top of the chart, was 24 degrees. She had to heal that. Can't go on unless healing. She always said, I'm going to work as long as I can. I'm going to do my work. I love it. I love my job. Well, how can she do that in death? Well, I told you over and over, she passed the baton on to Kamala. Kamala, 24 degrees Taurus. She has Jupiter, the planet of Jupiter, at 24 degrees Taurus. Do you know what that means? Jupiter, the beneficial planet of good luck, miracles, healing, law enforcement, faith, philosophy, religion. The Justice Department. She has this big, giant, benevolent planet conjunct Ruthie's Chiron. She picked up the wound. Jupiter, the Temperance card, is, blending things, creating something new that doesn't go together, to fix something, to heal something. Sitting right on Don Julio's midheaven. So she healed this by doing something, the secret, and handing it off. And this will be interesting. That was another huge piece I forgot to tell you guys about. So, RBG at the new moon, secrets, hidden enemies. The yod is pointing here, but this is an area of your friends, hopes, dreams, innovation, innovator, the King of Swords. I thought that had to do with the courts. What was crowning her at this new moon? Temperance. Also, related to Jupiter, it's also the Wheel of Fortune in the tarot. But this has to do with Sagittarius, the rule of law. Temperance, taking two things, creating some magic, kind of like her life, what she did, blending her work where she's going, creating some magic and transmuting that and creating something else. I have to pause. I can't forget this one either. Think about this. The veil is so thin between both worlds, our physical world, our non-physical world. It's really thin. With as much that I could feel RBG dancing, in her chart, so incredibly prominent, was Admetos, the one who is the soother, the healer, the one that looks over those who are in pain, who are hurt, who are different. The ultimate minister to a person to assist them. What group has been tossed away, forgotten, has no voice, no regard, no nothing? It's 5,000 Americans who are dead, unnecessarily dead. Their families here in physical keep their energies strong and aware. I feel like RBG was like, well, my work is done here. I need to go minister and lead all of them, being their voice, the direction for justice. I had chills when I figured that out the other day. So she had her party, like 3-day dancing party. She's working already, you guys. They're all working. There's like this big mass of everything from George Floyd and Cummings and John Lewis, all the people that we've lost. They're working. They are working and helping get all this done. I talked about how the women's suffrage movement was passed on to her in my last video, and how now the work is passed on to someone else. But she's still holding the note for the work that has to be done, was done, and is moving forward. She left us here. This is her energetic, well, not a thumbprint, but impression here. If you want to think of these as like fault lines, this is her last that she left here. Her energy is not leaving this planet anytime soon. Lands far away, faith, hope, philosophy, religion, the High Priestess. The veil is really thin. I can see Russia from my house. Now here, shared resources. This is where the first clue was. Shared resources. We have Mars retrograde, Lilith, the pain that we feel, all of us that have been left out, Eris who's fighting, sudden shocking news. We have the 8 of Pentacles there about data, information, propaganda. Pisces, I believe. Having that big faith, I believe. Shared resource. So she's in a shared resource with the Queen of Wands. Usually this is my go-to card of Speaker Pelosi. No, it's not her. I've seen this with, nope, not Kamala. I've seen it kind of maybe with Elaine Chao and the others. Nope, not her. Like, who the heck is this? I'll tell you who it is. It's also her. This area has to do with life and death transformation. So yeah, she did pass away, but this is really big. Partner, adversary, 10 cups. 6th house, public servants. A mountain of information, public service. What's this mountain of information? Mountain of money. Mountain of mail. 5th house of the sun, the hanged man. She's telling me he got caught. Don Julio got caught with his pants down. She is sending a message. They got it done. She would not leave if her work wasn't done. Today, I can't even remember what I was doing. I was like, do you mean to tell me this is what down and you got? And she was like, yes. Yes, this is what this is about. If you're on Twitter, you know exactly what I'm talking about. USA defenses, at home, how we defend ourselves, our clan, our karma, especially with this eclipse weather, our ancestors, world, the end of a cycle. This is not what this card is. This card was from the last lunation when I was like, what would... See, I don't want to start buffering. What would look like on the USA? And the reason why, and then I went through USA, what would like that look like? Russia, you know, Saudi, blah, blah, blah. How would that look? And I finally asked Donald, what would this look like on USA? His signifier, who he is, was this card. A successful end, completing the transformation, transition. This is an RBG's house, the 4th house of defense. He got caught. Pointing a yad to the King of Swords, Bill Barr, Bill behind bars, and what we're seeing now with FinCEN, also with the courts. She knew this. She knew this. The tarot told us in USA Defenses is the analysis in the sign of Virgo, the sun in Virgo. In our areas of communication, reasoning, lunar eclipse, an agreement. She knew it about an agreement. That's the Knight of Cups. Oh, that might be the FBI. Maybe. I can't remember. The other thing that showed up so prominently in this, and now I understand why, this is the area of income, gains, values. And usually we would see like people getting paid through this back channel, that back channel, starts up here, Putin's house, goes to a secret. I'm going to get me some money. I've been going on this past year all the time. But this time I said, I have never seen the astrology card for the 2nd house come up for its own position, meaning a real deepening, not of values, but a deepening of money, transactions. She had the 3 of Wands, the Commerce card, a deepening of money and knowing. On the Ascendant, the thing that gave her life and death purpose at the last lunation, herself on the Supreme Court, that guy, Vlad Stubb. So I was like, what the heck is going on here? I didn't expect it at all. So I started here with the secret. Who's this Queen of Wands? Let me check in with you guys real quick. How are you guys doing? Hi, hello, 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 hello. Okay. I'm not buffering. Okay, good. Oh, yes. Yes, AHD, heard a judge blocked the USPS changes, ordered the mail trucks. Stick a pin in that judge from Washington. Been showing up a lot in tandem or in parallel with what's going on here. So, I'm like, who's this Queen of Wands? And at the beginning of the week, I had hardly thrown any tarotscopes. I've done like 100 of them, trying to plug people in. And finally, this Queen of Wands showed up here in the first house of identity for someone. It was Melania, the MOFLOTUS, because I can't call her a mofo, I call her a MOFLOTUS. Showed up here. I'm like, wait, she's working with MOFLO? I'm like, come on, no way. But then I was like, no. This area is shared resources. Just because you're sharing resources doesn't mean you're in partnership, because the tarot said this has to do with partnership. So who is she in partnership with? I couldn't believe. I'm like, she's not really a Queen of Wands. So let me see what relevant thing came up with. Oh, and then I realized RBG was not working with MOFLO at all, because MOFLO, because she loves her money. Like Donald, okay, can we just talk about how transactional she is? If you've listened to or read the book Melania and Me, she is just like Donald. Everything is transactional. Everything. That's why she can be so cold, because she's just fulfilling a role. She's being paid to do a job for someone. Which is really crazy that she kind of has that history that people get in trouble for, that she was this. But also, I was thinking this more and more, but after this, I was like, no. Well, I mean, maybe, but she doesn't know how to do it. People tell her what to do. So, she gets paid. Right? For entertainment purposes only. Okay, so when I did MOFLOTUS, her tarotscope, in this area of income, I was like, ooh, she's probably going to strike it rich. No. She had the 7 of Cups, the confusion. I'm like, she's not confused about what money is. If this is her gain and her value is the 7 of Cups, I don't have the 7 of Cups, it's like, oh my gosh, she is getting her money from other sources, or she's giving it away to other sources. And that is when I knew we entered new territory. I don't even know where the 7 Cups is. But you guys know what that 7 of Cups looks like. It's the big question mark. What is this? What am I doing? So, because her tarotscope was like, well, maybe she worked with her. Maybe she didn't. Maybe, like, Ruthie read stuff about her. I'm like, no. And then I was like, no. There's no way there was some secret thing that they were conspiring together to get other people. Because that's kind of how it seemed like it went. No. Because, well, just a second. Then her secret in this area was the King of Wands. Angry Putin. But then she had the 3 of Wands reversed. I wish I had a 3. So the 3 of Wands, the Merchant card, it's in here. You're waiting for your ships to come in. It was reversed. This pinnacle, this point where, okay, go, we're doing something different. That's how it kind of seems. So she had that secret there. And then we had the news come out that she passed. We found out about the stuff with the mail on, I think, Friday night with that judge in Washington. We had the Mueller report unredacted. And then Donald signed an executive order on Friday about patriotism and the 1776 Commission. I'm like, WTF, really? What's that about? Because that's not what it's about. And I knew the lunation before, DeVos and the Department of Education were showing up everywhere in this area. This is also an area of criminality. The Queen of Wands and criminality. Who is that? So by this point, I threw some more tarotscopes. Donald drew the Queen of Wands in the exact same place. Criminality right here. And then I remembered how many times Vlad has shown up in my tarotscope or in readings as a woman. The Queen of Wands. And because of, quote, not Mother Russia, but feminine receiving that yin energy of being filled up with stuff, because Russia's pretty barren right now, and Vlad is on this new world leadership thing, and everyone's giving him money. So this is kind of Vlad as Donald loves money and power. I mean, how much more Venusian can you get than Vlad turning into a queen? So this was the clue that Ruthie left behind. Melania, MOFLOTUS, is all on board with this. And the money and income and values is going to the Seven of Cups, which is China, North Korea, plus some Russia. And so Donald and his new event. Let me ask you guys, am I buffering? I lost this. Am I buffering? Oh yeah, you guys, please do not spell out any names. Like the guy that was in that embassy, he's coming up. You can use initials, but let's not spell out the names because things kind of get tripped up easily. It's weird, especially like that one time I said BANNON, the old. Okay. We are, yes, I know you guys are always good. It buffered when I spelled it? Ah. Well, okay. I don't have time for new names. Come on. It took me 2 years to figure out these silly names. Okay, I'm good? Yes. Okay, let me ask one more time. Am I buffering? I can't believe that. It did. Okay. Am I buffering? No. Okay, good. Thank you. Okay, so this Queen of Wands. Now we know who this Queen of Wands is. So then, of course, my next step was to catalog where I'm seeing her, because the takeover of the world, this new leadership, has to do with data. Remember the whole thing with data, and then oh gosh, I gotta erase this. And then in Peter's book, I don't know why I keep doing hashtag with that. This book, he talks about a new kind of spy. I got something in my eye. This is also propaganda. Okay. So in the tarotscope, for entertainment purposes only, this new venture with the queen has to do with this data and a new garbage. Shared resources. Keep feeding them this stuff. Oh, yeah. Like last time, like you said in 2016, where's that Queen of Wands? So, okay. Okay, I'll tell you all the places this showed up. Okay, so it's just going to be like a list so you can get an idea of what's going on. So when I looked at these people, and I'm sure it would show up for a lot more people if I could do all of them, but I can't. On the ascendant here, what was giving life to people? Walmart, I thought was interesting. This is something else you need to keep an eye on. So last week, maybe it was the week before, the Labor Department, I don't even know who that is anymore. He didn't shut down a case, but he took the prosecutor off, a certain prosecutor off, who was maybe, I don't know if he shut it down or he removed the prosecutor. So that went away. Well, that case had to do with Oracle. I don't know what Oracle does. But Oracle, you know, computer, whatever they do, you know, I just am not interested in this stuff. I have to learn so much about this. So that case was dropped against this one. And I think around the same, so that was like a week ago. So then when Donald, they had this executive order, and because they're part of this bigger thing that Ruthie left the clue about. And this was on the 17th, and the Dow fell by 244 points that day. The Queen of Wands. I feel like when Vlad doesn't get what he wants, there's things that start falling apart. We see these big shakes in the Dow dropping. Today it was 500 points. And then everybody reacts around it. But anyway, the Queen of Wands was related to all of this because the Queen of Wands, remember this was here for MOFLOTUS. It also showed up in the first house of identity and partnerships for the Commerce Department. So what ended up happening when then I threw tarotscopes on this, and these players, it was a vehicle that had the blessing of the White House to do this transaction to get money somewhere else. Make sense? How are we doing on time? I feel like how long have we been going? Let's talk a little bit more about this Queen, because now the Queen of Wands that I thought was just MOFLOTUS and Don Julio now are showing up in news in tandem with the markets, and now the markets are going poorly. The other person, does anybody remember what this is? Project LAHKTA. They're kind of like the IRA, the research agency in 2016. Oh, God. People related to this. George Nader and another guy, George Nader just had a superseding indictment, and a guy, there's a fugitive, and there's a California attorney, worked with this in 2016. They all got indicted for wire fraud. That's how they were getting money over there. So the Queen of Wands also had to do with partnerships, the Commerce Department, Walmart, MOFLOTUS, Senator Shelby. Yeah, that return with that ambassador to Estonia. They're panicked. Yeah, Queen of Wands. And then BuzzFeed News, busting everybody up with what's happening with this New World Order. The area of income gains values. Okay, Dr. Redding from the CDC, because basically this administration has hijacked the CDC. Now we have the fake CDC putting out all that horrible information because the government values the data that they have from the CDC so much. This partnership has everything to do with data. Oh, wait. Oh, no. Second house income gains. The FBI showed up. So did Rod Rosenstein. So Rod, I haven't figured him out yet. He has not looked to be in the best light. But there's definitely a role for him with this bigger clue that Ruthie left behind. And if it's what I think it is, I'm glad he's there. I don't even know where this confidential source 1 came from. Something from last week. Oh, you're going to like this. Okay, so the lunar eclipse. Change. Messaging. Ideas. Commerce. Hello, CRIMINALITY. Showed up. Her husband showed up all over the place in relation to this. This is why she's in so much trouble. So did this David Correia, the one that had the superseding indictment with Lev, L-E-V, last Friday. This guy is showing up all over the place, with their guarantee, that LLC with all the FRAUD. Busted. CRIMINALITY, I think, is related to that. Also, Donald's executive order. In this area, Gina, Haspel. I don't know why. I've hardly looked at her. I started looking at her. Boy. And then the FinCEN files. The Defense of the United States. They got caught. The FinCEN files released this. This is going to help us with the defense of our nation. Fifth house of the sun. And I don't know why this keeps showing up too. The rally he had last week in Wisconsin his rallies are part of this, you guys. When he does a rally, I'm sure it has to do with data and it has to do with the narrative and boots on the ground and recruiting people. This is part of that. Only one person showed up with the Queen of Wands in the 6th house. You ready to blow your mind away? Don McGahn. In the area of partnerships, only one showed up here. This has me nervous. I tweeted today, hang on to your cash, you guys. Start hanging on to your cash, your money, your change. Just put in a little cup to the side. Gather up your change. Look for it. Store it. I think something is coming with that. This was the Dow dropping 509 points. So is this a partner or is it an open adversary? An adversary hurting our economy 3 days in a row. Look at what's happened related to this. The only people who had the Queen of Wands here, like Ruthie, was Donald and Facebook. Gosh, ugh. Think about all the data that Facebook has that they use for the election. This area, lands far away, law enforcement, faith, hope. We had the FBI. Oh, because they know about that executive order in 1776. And geez, if they know about that, it seems to me they know about a lot more. And this, the FinCEN files, that was released by the international, it's the handle ICIJ.org, the International Journalists. Lands far away, getting the truth out. It's crowning Washington, D.C. with this Queen of Wands who had this. LEV. So he's been in D.C. doing stuff with this new world order. McMaster came out on 60 Minutes Sunday, called him out, and I was shocked to see this, but TAD Divine, who worked with Manafort on the Yanukovych presidency in Ukraine in 2004, also came out here. I think we're going to find out more stuff about 2016. This area with the Yad is pointing to with this new world order. The Supreme Court of the United States showed up here. I think because this is humanitarian efforts, it's ruled by Aquarius and Uranus rule over this area. She was so innovative. There's no one like her. But we also have the sun, the PHOTUS here. And this Yad is splitting his power. SCOTUS showed up here. So did Elon Musk. The Ten of Wands, that new type of espionage, storing data overseas, showed up. Oscar Health showed up over here. That is Joshua and Jared Kushner's Oscar Health, that business they made before Donald was inaugurated, that George Soros is vested in, cadres invested in it. Oscar Health. And the unredacted Mueller report. This is the humanitarian, the hopes, the wishes, the dreams of friends. So there is a lot of finger of God stuff happening in those areas. And in the area of secrets and hidden enemies, we have the Washington judge showed up here. That judge has a secret about what's going on with this, which is pointing back to the Postal Service, which I think is part of all of our agencies getting sucked in for the purpose of this Yahoo. The unredacted, secrets, hidden enemy, secrets. Mark Burnett keeps showing up in all the wrong places. This is another one. And the hidden enemies, the card, the lovers. That's, Trump, Russia, Trump, Putin. So this was the Queen of Wands. And so here I'm realizing this Queen of Wands, Ruthie, left a clue on some shared resources about data and information, maybe business, maybe crime. And so far, it's pulled in MOFLOTUS, Donald, Facebook. And things related to our Department of Education and Money, executive orders, and businesses. So if that's that, then my next question was, why did she have the Knight of Pentacles? Why did Ruthie have the Knight of Pentacles in the first house? If this is who she is, she was signaling this part was done, the handoff. And so then this is part 2 of the clue she left. There's 3 parts. I am not going past 3 parts. I'm just done. This is just too much. So that's my next live, Knight of Pentacles. And someday we'll go to Italy. And God. So that's that. Any questions? Do you guys got any questions? Oh, bye, Steve Myers. Okay. Have a great night. Okay. Hey, Mystic. I hope you're doing well. This fall's going to be hard on you Capricorns, but it's not going to be as hard as it was this summer, okay? It's just going to be more irritating. It'll push you to get stuff done that you felt unable to get done. Fart book. Okay. Hi, Sharon Lee. Yay! Okay, good. Yeah, Cancer, fixed signs, you guys are you're going to get a break. It's going to be a different break. Libras, you're going to do, I think you're going to do what you're going to sail. Because Mars is retrograde, even though it's opposite you, the Venus is the apple of the universe's eye. Hi, Rob. No, Capricorn, things should be easier than it was this summer. I know, T-Bart, I've been so giddy today. I'm just like, to the point where you get so giddy that you start to like get tense, and then this, oh my God. This chart for the first day of fall is just, again, nuts. But in a way that it's going to get stuff done. But things are being kind of weird maybe for a little bit in the middle of Libra season. Okay. Wait, what? Holy Unicorns, the court just slapped the subterfuge out of DHS Wolf. Yes, denied. They were denied. Okay, so those guys, I wish I could just keep going on, but I just kind of want this information to settle in before we get to the Knight of Pentacles. Nope, I have one more thing I have to tell you. This is huge because if we don't address it, it's going to get lost. You guys, pay attention to this one, please. So let's go back to last week because this isn't happening anymore. Let's talk about the USPS. This is going to be good to know as we go forward, but I want to make sure you guys know. If you get any texts from the USPS saying, oh, we have a parcel for you, click on this link and then find out information about it. I'm going to give you the timeline on what happened here. So like a week ago last weekend, that was this mailer that said, find out, get ready to vote, right? Get ready. And then it was like, nope, I didn't get any mail last week. That was a week ago Saturday. Within hours, I got a text. You have a parcel. Oh, and how I know this was an app was because the YT algos switched the day before or 2 days before. So I'm like, oh my God, something's up. It's such a tell. So this was a week ago, that Saturday. Then I got a text. You have a parcel here. I'm like, I am not clicking on that. So of course I did my research because I got this from New York State phone numbers. And then I did the research on the link. Who owns it? Well, it was, how does it go? It goes MRTN. It went to this website hosted by, that's, over China. And this domain was expiring in like 3 days at the time. It's like, I've never seen anyone so actively use a website they just set up for it to expire in 3 days. So when I looked at who owns this, so you get like, it'll come up with like, this is, I don't want to say class, it's private. But then I'll say like this address. It's at private in city private, state private. But here's the email for private. So like whatever email they entered, they automatically created an email at, private service. That email started with, and then it had like 15 letters or numbers at that private place. This, if you go to your YouTube, search this. Look at all the stuff that comes up for it. This is a telecommunications service. I think maybe here or here. But now where this Queen of Wands is directed to, this is part of that process. This is a major player, and it involves this. So you can bet how much trouble DeJoy is in. Don't click on that stuff. You guys, please change your emails. Go make a bunch of new emails. Use a different email for each social media platform that you're on. When you start protecting your data, unplug your routers at night, because I think at nighttime, maybe whatever you have your stuff plugged into, they can just go search through, because, our ISP servers, when this administration came in, they said, oh, ISPs can have all your data. Wow. I used to unplug my router all the time at my old house. Now I don't do it so much. So you guys just turn off the phone, turn off the devices, detach from your router, replug in, and you'll just find out how much less garbage is targeting you. It's crazy. Okay, so this is it. I think I'm going to have to go live again because I just want to get caught up with the story, but now I know what it is. It'll be easier. So this was the Queen of Wands, okay? Thank you so much for coming. Thank you, my wonderful moderators. You guys are so awesome. I apologize for the earlier tech problems, but my app decided to work on the first try. When does that happen? At 1:30? Never, but today. So thank you. You have a great evening. Take it easy. Don't listen to this garbage. It's designed to rile you up, because that's part of the New World Order against Americans. This is the TERROR. Okay. Oh, good. I'm so glad. It puts it into perspective for you. Excellent. Thank you. Okay. Have a great evening. Talk to you soon.